Okay, let's check this out. Let's check you out. Okay. This isn't a dig. You are pretty far in the negative. That's interesting. I didn't know it could go. Okay, well, I mean, just looking at your account, I'd probably stop playing Hawkeye. StarLord? Okay, yeah, let's do the StarLord game. Yeah, no, I like this. So I see a lot of really good StarLords. They play very aggressively. Just remember, when you're playing DPS, you want to get, it's the same with any role in any game. There's a feeling out process. There's a period in the game pretty early on where you get a feel for like how good your healers are, how good your tanks are, right? So you generally want to play aggressively, but not too aggressively. That's the best tip I could give you. You don't want to play so passively that you don't know what your limits are. You want to limit test in real time in the game. And that's one thing a lot of DPS players don't do, and that's why they get hard stuck. Sometimes you'll die because you pushed the limits too far, but now you know what you're capable of, and you immediately reset what your playstyle is for that particular game. And StarLord is probably one of the best characters to do that on because he has literally infinite ways he can play. He can dive, he can go left, he can go right, he can go up, down. So like literally infinite ways you can play. I mean, kind of like what we talked about before. So when you start a game as StarLord, you should be in a feeling out process of, can I dive? Can I use my spin around shot just on like their whole team and get away with it? You should try these things. Also, are my healers going to damage boost me and play around me and do this and do that, right? So I want to see a certain level of aggression from you that will after doing so give you info for better or worse what your team's going to be. That's what I'm going to be looking for here. A certain level of limit testing, especially in lower, because you know you're in lower ranks. You know there's higher ranks than Diamond, right? Like Diamond is what, like top 80, top 20% or something. So you know your goals are set higher, so you should be beating these people. So that's also a reason why you should have a certain level of aggression. Sorry, you have to get your mindset right before we can even get into this, because I feel like because you play a bunch of different characters, this is probably not something you do enough. I'm already just kind of guessing it. Oh, you're playing Adam Warlock? Let's go to when you play StarLord here. Because you probably don't have enough experience if you're just playing a bunch of random characters. StarLord is a character where if you only play him, you could get pretty good at him. Well, you should probably already have an idea of what your team is like right now. So that feeling out process probably not as relevant, but still applies.
Watch out, they're headed our way.
Okay, okay, so this is the number one thing. Even though I'm coming into this kind of blind, the number one thing you cannot do if you want to get out of Plat, Diamond rank. This is the number one mistake I see people in this rank make, and it is wasting their ultimates. Now, had you popped it initially and forced it, it'd be better, but because you used it a second late, it means you wasted it. Because they made a mistake that you could have punished, and you totally just... all your value is gone now. All your carry potential is now gone because you weren't tracking their ults. So this is like something I don't really even need to see the beginning of the game. You should just have known what her ult is and have a general idea. Think of it this way: Cloak and Dagger gets her ult every other fight, unless something extra happens, something unique. Maybe it's like a long fight, or sorry, a really short fight. Then it maybe be 1 in 3 fights. But Cloak and Dagger gets her ult probably every minute and a half. It's a lot, right? So maybe every 3 fights, right? So you got to be tracking this kind of stuff. Major cooldowns, you should have a general feel for it. Especially you playing a bunch of different characters, you should have a feel for what the ults are. So you can never have a situation as StarLord where this is the case, where you ult after they ult. Either ult before and force it, because it's a good time to do it, or save it. And because in a situation where you need to be capping the point, right? You know you need to be capping this point. It's generally better to tell your team to fall back and wait until you ult, because you're giving them what they want by engaging on the point. Your other option, just to give you an alternative, because I say like a different playstyle is very beneficial. What you could have done, and this is what I see a lot of really good StarLords do, is rush to the point using your mobility, come right here, and instead of going up to this side flank, you ult as soon as they walk through here. If you want to use your ult, you've been holding on to your ult too long, and then what happens is now you don't give them what they want. They have to cloak ult right here. So us against the world, 1, 2, 3. They don't even cover the whole point with it. You force an ult farther back than they want, and this is the new line of scrimmage. Now, that's worst case scenario, or best case scenario, or sorry, that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario is they don't know what's going on. They get confused. You get a pick, and then cloak ults and gets a low value ult, right? So using your ult, but you don't want to use it reactively like this. Obviously, it's a mistake, but be more aggressive. Even if you know they have the ult, you could force her to use it in a bad spot and give your team ample space to kite back, right? It all comes down to tracking ults and being aggressive, okay? So you going up to the side flank, it's not terrible, but in this particular instance, probably not the right play, all right? Probably not the right play. Good target selection, though. You want to be putting yourself in a position where you can get healed right now. Yeah. This is a huge misplay, right? Because your team is playing this perfectly, by the way. They kited back, nobody died, and then your target selection initially was good, but you needed to go to the health pack over here. You should once you got around this corner, you should have ran back, got the health pack, or called out to your team, like literally hugged this pillar. You kind of went out in the open and gave them a window to kill you, right? So this is a pretty damning mistake here. This is what we would call a game losing mistake. Kind of, if you were here earlier, what I talked about, you are kind of single-handedly being the reason you're potentially going to lose this fight, because your team played it pretty much textbook perfect. So really, the target selection was good, but once you saw her get healed, the play's over at that point. So you either wait it out and hide behind a corner, and then hold this back position, right? And then re-engage and try to get a kill that way, which probably would have been fine too. Go and get the health back, just heal. Don't rely on your team for heals, right? Or I mean, really, that's the right play. The other alternative is just run into your team and get the Mantis ult and fight on that. Also would have been good, but probably put you more at risk. And then you'd have to be dodging the Strange ult coming up here. Okay, so we're going to fast forward. So yeah, say it's pop double support ult. Naturally, your team loses that because you're not there. Okay, so right now you should be thinking, our team has a support ult over them, so I need to get a fight. I need to start a fight safely, and oh, they're down 1 too. You got to pick. So you should be looking to fight right now, immediately. Like going for a side flank, you don't want to be wasting too much time doing this. The situational, right? They are down 1. You should immediately be going for a fight here. Be more aggressive. I'm not a big fan of this, right? Like, you need to be forcing a fight sooner. You have everybody here. No, you're down Penny. But you have support ult. Just literally come in from a vertical flank here, do your AoE gun thing, right? And then flip back to your team. And if they need to, she'll support ult, right? You get the fight started. You get a lot more aggression. I see a lot of StarLords just dive into the enemy through like a flank angle, do that AoE damage thing, and that just does so much, and they just can't heal through it. Then you just flip back, immune their shots. Like, you need to be more aggressive here, I think. Even with Penny in the back. I mean, you got Spider-Man. This would be a perfect time to do it. Hopefully you do it here. So your teammate gets picked. You basically, they go for more or less the right play, but kind of through. And you just don't have any impact here. So now you go for it. But now they're all running away already because you didn't synchronize with your team here. It's really, you got good value. You did some good damage with it, but you guys are just not synchronized. So you got to have more of that killer instinct. We need more aggression. We need more aggression here. Your accuracy, for the most part, looks good. Like, mechanically, you seem like a decent player. It's the decision-making that you need to work on here. Okay, so again, this would be a great time for you to go in and use that spinny ability. I think it's probably on cooldown right now.
Oh, did you see that?
Okay, missed your window there. I would have I would get a more vertical angle, right? Just want to talk about like really micro. You're too close to the ground, make it too easy to land shots. Come from above, right? Because it'll give you an extra second or two to get a shot off and force them to look. And the beauty about being above is you have more places to dodge, right? Because you can not only dodge, you know, up like you can from the ground, but you can also dodge down. So now you can go down and get behind this. If you limit yourself to being down here, right, you have to walk all the way around. You have a lot more options when you're starting a fight right here. You can also stand on this. And like, you know, while you're flying, there's a lot more options. You just went into that fight kind of weird. I would have gone over her and then done the spinny thing from above and then maybe, or shot her, then done spinny thing, then flipped out, right? So I don't like how you're approaching the fights. I think you should be approaching them with more verticality. Definitely what you want to be doing. Good StarLords, I always see them like just at the point where they can't get air stunned by people, but like coming in from above, just to give them that extra second or two of damage while not getting hit, right? But yeah, good that you realized the fight wasn't working and kited back. By the way, the initial dive you did was very good. Very good awareness to actually go for that. You went in 1v3, and even though it wasn't like the best mechanically, it was the play itself was actually right. So you have good intuition. All three of your dives have been correct. You've just been a little slow on them and a little mechanically just not exactly. But your intuition's good. You just need to be a little bit more aggressive. Again, it goes back to what I said with that feeling out process. Like, you can be more aggressive here. Trust me, you can. These players, these are diamond players. You got to think you're better than them and play like it, right? I do think it would help to turn up your sensitivity a little bit. It looks like your turn radius on your shots is like a little slow. It might just be like a mouse thing. I would turn it up like 50 DP or in-game DPI, maybe like 20. Most people play really low sensitivity though, so I'm a little biased. I wouldn't take that one to heart.
Shake it up. Locked and loaded.
Yeah, I mean your accuracy's like decent. It's good. It's just the close turn radius that you need. Again, though, I still want to see more vertical angles here. I like that. I love that trade. I like that because you're getting real close to your ult. I would do that again. Honestly, I would go right back and do that again because you can always just go through the portal. But this is fine too. I mean, you pretty much took no damage for that. I would be again positioning more aggressively. Try to get more verticality here. Fly up behind them and then just cleave them all with the damage. They'll have no idea you're there. You can get right up through here. It looks like that's what you're going for. I want to see here. StarLord looks really fun. He looks really fun, man. Like this position just doesn't give you enough impact, right? You want to be more threatening to them. Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad I said what I said at the beginning of this because it is the exact advice you need. You need to be limit testing more. You need to be more aggressive. And if you can get away with it, then you play like that all game. You're not challenging yourself enough to carry the game. Like straight up, you're just not being aggressive enough. You're taking too much of a defensive role and relying on. I know your team already died, but at this point, like you should be thinking, can I carry this fight? Or just die with them at this point. Just die with them. I mean, you go in, you get your ult, you could just carry this fight because you at least force like a support ult. Or wait, they don't even have one. So you could actually carry this fight. You could actually carry it. You need to be doing that up on them. Look, imagine if you were up here where you should have been. Oh my god, you just shred their backline. You actually just destroy them. Alright. More aggression. There we go. We're finally on it. But you don't have your cooldown now. Right, so now you're diving them without your best damaging cooldown, right? The one that just auto-locks onto them, so... There's not enough impact. Alright. And then, yeah, good target selection, but then she just ults to counter yours. At least you get something for it this time. So yeah, I mean that's well over time. So gave you a little bonus there. Hopefully that helps, Jonah. Limit test more in games. Be more aggressive. I don't hate your StarLord. It's not bad. I mean, I think you have good game sense, but it's like you're hesitant. Just when you get into games, just think you're hot. Like literally have the mentality that you're better than everybody else. Think that. Let it dictate the way you play. Don't let it dictate the way you act, though, because that's how you get toxic. Think you're better than everybody else, but talk to everyone with a like fatherly like shot calling and call for plays, call for dives. And if they don't work, then turn that knob down just a little bit. Just turn it down just a little bit until you get the right. And every game, it's just fine tuning. How aggressive am I going to be? But more aggression is always good. Maybe go play some quick plays and just play full aggro, and then see what you're capable of. So there you go. Boom, coach. And again, thanks for the support, bro.